Hi, this is Josh VanStee in Northwest Michigan. I just wanted to give you my quick tips on how I ride my Shinn Kiteboard quiver. So the first board I start with, since I'm a firm believer in not switching kites if you don't have to maximize time efficiency on the water, I like to start as my base with the Jackson foil, so I can catch anything. This is my insurance policy for, down to 8 knots. So this is my base to start off with, usually in spring and early summer when the winds are a little bit lighter. The first board I like to branch out from the Jackson if the wind picks up a little bit is my Shinster. It's great in light winds, it's good in chop. It's a strapless kind of surf skateboard that rides more like a twin tip. And the reason I like to branch out is a lot of times I'll have my harness on with the slider, and so when you're riding toe side with both boards, if you were to switch both boards, it just gives you a little bit more range and comfort when you're riding toe side. I'll usually branch out if the wind picks up even more. I'll have my Monk with me because it's a good light medium to medium wind board, and it's extra great in the chop. So I'll have that for the next step if the wind picks up a little bit more. I'm not going to be able to pack my foil board. This would be my base right here, would be the Super King. This is my old school Super King. I love the color scheme, so I've kept it around for quite a while. I like to bring this as my base because it tends to have a little bit better wind range than the Shinster. I would say 3 to 5 knots, a little better. Now from there, if I was just doing Super King as my base, and I wanted to keep things minimal and I didn't know where I was going to be riding, I would always have the Ronson in there. So, because this is good, pretty much all wind ranges. Definitely a little bit better once you get to medium range, but you can ride this in anything, chop, waves, flat water. It does a great job in all. So then I would have this as my base and this as my step up if the wind were to pick up. If I knew it was going to be light all day, I would, have these two boards. This would be my next step. I would have the Super King and the Monk because it's probably going to be choppy water, light winds. This is a good light to medium wind board. So this would be my combo. If I were to step up and have more boards, just in case some stronger winds came through, I would probably add the Absinthe because this is a pretty good board in medium, but definitely really good in the high winds. Performs really well. So this would be the combo if I were to step it up to 3 boards, would be the Super King, Monk, and Absinthe. So a last variation on the 3-board set would be the Super King. If you know the day was going to progress with wind, then I would transition to the Monk, and then if there was a possibility of gale force winds, especially in the fall for us, we get some really strong winds, I would have the ADHD in there instead of the Absinthe because it handles the high winds better than any board in the lineup. My last variation would be the Super King with the split board, the slicer, and this would be just if you were, have limited space. I would pack this, especially if you're doing like a cargo box and you have room for 1 or 2 kites. This again is going to kind of ride like the Ronson. It's kind of in between the Ronson and the Monk, if you ask me, but a good all-around board if it were to pick up. And it's still, I ride the 142, so it's a little bit bigger. So it's going to give you a little bit more flexibility in terms of your wind range. Hope this was helpful on how I ride my Shinn Kiteboard quiver. Maybe you have a different combo that you like to ride. Let me know in the comment section. I'd be interested to see how different people ride different boards in different conditions. And if you're in doubt and you're not sure and you have room in your car, build a rack for all your boards, and then you never feel like you're missing out or missing an opportunity to ride a different board in a different situation, because the wind can often change and not be as predicted in the wind prophecy. Peace.